Good morning, students. Myself Deepali Harchande. I welcome you all for the history session. Already I have started lesson number 1, that is first farmer. Today we are going to start with the second part of this lesson. So let's start with the lesson. Very first, let me revise what we have learned in the last lecture. We have started with the river valley civilization, and in that river valley civilization, how the valley civilization has got existed, what are the river valley civilizations, and how it has got formed. All that things we have learned. Even we have learnt about Homo habilis, which was the first tool had been made by the Stone Age man, that we have learnt. Then we have learnt about 3 phases of history, that is Paleolithic period, Mesolithic period, and the Neolithic period. That we have learnt. I have explained you all the periods of history subject. Even we can say prehistoric and prohistoric period also. After that, we have learnt about Mesolithic people, how they started domesticating animals and plants, and as well as we have learnt about the Neolithic age. After that, what we have seen the valley of Euphrates and Tigris, Mesopotamia. Ancient Mesopotamia included modern Iraq, Syria, as well as the western regions of Iran and southeastern regions of Turkey. That we have learned, and even I have taught you about the meaning of Mesopotamia. If you want to know more about the meaning of Mesopotamia, go to the page number 1. You will get the meaning and other information. Then we have learnt about the Mesolithic period. People began to stay in this region for longer time, where in the valley of Euphrates and Tigris, because there was availability of fertile soil, availability of river water, and the suitable condition was there, and henceforth the people, they were living near the valley of Euphrates and Tigris. And these first villages are dated to 10,000 years BCE. The farmers in these villages grew wheat and barley. It was a main crop of farmer. After that, this is the picture of Tigris. Means these are the current pictures. Yes, here I taught you about the location, Mesopotamia, then ancient Mesopotamia, Indus and Mesopotamia relationship. See, you will get here the relation between Mesopotamia and the Indus Valley civilization relationship. Through water, they could communicate with each other, and we know the people, they were discovered the trade also, trade and communication. So through this water bodies, we can say the relation was there in between Indus and Mesopotamia. Indus Valley civilization belongs to India, and Mesopotamia, this civilization belongs to the Syria, Iraq, Iran, as we have seen. Then yes, modern Iraq is Syria, and western region of Iran, as well as Turkey. So we had a communication, we had a trade relationship with Mesopotamia of Indus civilization. Then again we have learnt about Indus, we have completed. Nile river civilization or valley of Nile, Egypt. It was situated in Egypt. The Nile river is there, and along with the Nile river, besides the Nile river, the civilization was taken place or had taken place. Even Napoleon Bonaparte that point we have learned what he had been mentioned in his writing, in his script or in his account. It is called as a foreign account. Okay, so he had been also uh, mentioned few things about Nile River Valley civilization. See, these are the current pictures of Nile River in Egypt. Yes, Mediterranean Sea, Nile Delta, Lower Egypt, Upper Egypt. This is the location of Nile Delta. See, this is the location of Nile Delta. This is the river, Nile River, and as per the flow, it creates the delta and it meets to the Mediterranean Sea. See, these all outlets are meets to the or merge this this river meets to the Mediterranean Sea. So this is the delta region. Delta means where the river meets to the sea or ocean. That time the delta region has got we can say create, or we can say it has taken place. Next, so today we are going to start with the next part, that is Yellow River in China. We are going to learn about the Chinese civilization, the valley of Huanghe, China. The Yellow River civilization, obviously it has existed in the valley region of Yellow River. The name of that river is Yellow River. And why the name of that river is yellow? Because this river, the yellow silt brought by this river has earned her this name. Means that river brought a silt, yellow silt, and that is why this river has been given name as a Yellow River by Chinese people. And if you want to know about the origination of Chinese culture, or if you want to know about the culture evolved in China, we need to learn about the Yellow River civilization. For example, in India we have the Indus Valley civilization. Okay, and Indus Valley civilization is the oldest civilization in India. And once we learn about Indus Valley civilization, then we come to know about the overall civilization or overall Indian subcontinent civilization. Fine. So same here, if we learn about the olden civilization of Yellow River, we come to know about the cultural aspects of China. Okay, let me explain little bit in Hindi. अगर हम इंडस सिविलाइजेशन मतलब सिंधु संस्कृति अगर हम लर्न करते हैं, अगर वो हम पढ़ते हैं, तो हमें क्या पता चलता है, हमारे इंडिया में जो कुछ कल्चर एस्टैब्लिश हुआ है वो किसके वजह से हुआ है? इंडस वैली, सिंधु संस्कृति से ही वो इवॉल्व हुआ है, और हम क्या कह सकते हैं, वो ही हमारा ओरिजिनेशन है. इवन हरप्पन सिविलाइजेशन, मोहनजोदारो, it is there in the Lothal, Punjab. So if we learn about it, we come to know about the history of civilization of India. हमें क्या पता चलता है, इंडिया में कैसा सिविलाइजेशन था, इंडिया में जो संस्कृति आ गई, वो संस्कृति कहाँ से उसकी उत्पत्ति हुई है, वो हम किससे सीखते हैं, हम ये इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन से हम इसका पता चलता है. ये देखो इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन. फाइन. इसके बाद जब अगर हमें चाइनीज़ कल्चर के बारे में पढ़ना है, अगर हमें ईरान इराक के बारे में पढ़ना है, तो हमें मेडिटेरियन सी, ये जो नाइल है, मेडिटेरियन सी है, नाइल डेल्टा है, नाइल रिवर है, इजिप्ट की नाइल जो रिवर वैली है, तो उसके बारे में अगर हम पढ़ेंगे तो हमें पूरे की पूरे इजिप्ट के संस्कृति के बारे में पता चलता है. क्यों? पहले ही मैंने बोला था पहले लेक्चर में कि अगर हमें सिविलाइजेशन पढ़ना है तो सिविलाइजेशन कहाँ पे एग्जिस्ट हुई थी, कहाँ पे उसका इवॉल्व हुआ था, कहाँ पे उसकी उत्पत्ति हुई थी, तो वो रिवर के आसपास. रिवर के आसपास ही क्यों? because our basic need is shelter, food and clothing. So for food we need water, we need food to eat. So for that purpose the man had started residing nearby the river areas. Fine. And that is why we have to learn all that river valley civilizations. See, first at that time the civilization word was not इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. दैट टाइम सिविलाइजेशन ये वर्ड नहीं था. उस टाइम क्या था, लोग खुद के जो रोज़मर्रा के जो ज़िंदगी में जो खुद के नीड्स है वो पूरा करने के लिए कहाँ पे रहते थे, रिवर के आसपास रहते थे. रिवर के आसपास उन्हें पानी मिलता था और उससे वो क्या करते थे, कल्टीवेशन करते थे. दैट टाइम कल्टीवेशन वर्ड वाज आल्सो नॉट इंट्रोड्यूस्ड. उनको पता ही नहीं था कि कल्टीवेशन किया जा सकता है. लेकिन बारिश का पानी है, देन रिवर का वाटर है, इससे वो क्या करते थे, खुद के जो नीड्स है वो पूरा करते थे. तो उसी तरह से क्या हुआ, लोग वहाँ पे रहना चालू किया. लोगों ने आसपास वहाँ पे बस्ती बनाई और वो थोड़े थोड़े लोग सब एक साथ आकर बाद में वो क्या हुआ, सिविलाइजेशन में उसका ट्रांजिशन हुआ. वी कैन नॉट से ट्रांजिशन, बट एक उसको सेटअप मिला, फॉर्म मिला कि सब लोग रिवर के आसपास रह रहे हैं और उसको ही हमने बाद में क्या नाम दिया, सिविलाइजेशन का नाम दिया, संस्कृति जो हम बोल सकते. उसके बाद वो अगर हम सिविलाइजेशन लर्न करते हैं तो हमें किसके बारे में पता चलता है, ओवरऑल जो उस देश में जो सिविलाइजेशन हुआ, जो कल्चर इम्प्लीमेंट हुआ, जो कल्चर इवॉल्व हुआ, उसके बारे में हम क्या कर सकते हैं, पता कर सकते हैं. अब हम क्या करने वाले हैं, हम द वैली ऑफ हुआंग है. तो अभी हम पढ़ते हैं चाइनीज कल्चर. एज आई टोल्ड यू दैट द रिवर, that yellow river brought the yellow silt across the place, and that is why it is named as a yellow river. The another name for the river is river or mother also. Even agriculture in the Neolithic villages of China began at about 7000 BCE. If we want to learn, we need to learn about 7000 BCE. That this means this civilization was evolved in that 7000 BCE period. And what was their main crop? Wheat and foxtail, millet and rice were grown by the farmers in these villages. Next is we are going to learn about, we'll move further. See, this is the current pictures of yellow river. See, you will get the yellowish color nearby the river area. Even on the mountain area also you will get the yellowish color. See, yellow river. Because of this color it is known as yellowish. See, it is not proper yellow, but brown yellowish color is there because of yellow silt. These are the current pictures of yellow river. Okay. This name means the yellow river name indicate her extraordinary place in the Chinese culture. Okay. The name river indicates that she is considered to be the only river of importance. The fact that she is considered to be the mother of Chinese culture is obvious name in the name mother. Means this river, if we want to learn about Chinese culture, we need to learn about yellow river, and that is why it is known as mother river also. Next part, Huanghe and Yangtze in China are the rivers which receive water from the Himalayan glaciers, as do the river Ganga, Sindhu and Brahmaputra. See, in our country we have Ganga, Sindhu and Brahmaputra, and these rivers, they receive water from Himalaya, from Himalayan glaciers. Same here, yellow river also not only Yellow River but Huang He and Yangtze, these rivers were also receive water from the Himalayan glacier. हिंदी में थोड़ा देखेंगे. हमारे कंट्री में गंगा है, सिंधु है एंड ब्रह्मपुत्रा, ये जो रिवर्स है, ये जो सारे नदियाँ है, वहाँ उसको पानी, उनको पानी कहाँ से मिलता है? जो हिमालयन ग्लेशियर्स है. ग्लेशियर्स मीन्स जो बर्फ़ की जो नदियाँ है, उससे वो मेल्ट होने के बाद जो पानी आता है, जो हम बोल सकते हैं कि एट द टाइम ऑफ समर सीजन द ग्लेशियर दे स्टार्ट मेल्टिंग and that water comes into the Ganga, Sindhu, Brahmaputra, even Huang and Yangtze rivers. See, this is the physical features we can say. Though we have political boundaries, means this is India, China, Pakistan, but if we see the natural boundaries, so the rivers, they are flowing from Pakistan, India and China, means three countries are involved in that. So in that aspect, we cannot stick to the political boundaries, we cannot stick to the physical boundaries. That time we have to think about all the countries. So here Yellow River also get receive the water from the Himalayan glacier. See, Himalaya glacier or Himalayas, few part is there in China, few part is there in Pakistan, even in India also. That time we are not going to think about the political or physical boundaries of countries. Okay. Huang He flows so rapidly that it continuously keeps changing its course. मतलब उसका फोर्स इतना है, हुआंग हे रिवर का फोर्स, जो हम बोलते हैं ना फ्लोइंग का जो फोर्स है, वो बहुत है. इसलिए वो क्या होता है, हमेशा उसका जो कोर्स है, मतलब जहाँ से नदी जो फ्लो होती है, वो कोर्सेस हमेशा चेंज होते हैं. The territorial floods caused because of it used to be very disastrous, causing great loss of life and assets. और ये कोर्स चेंजिंग के वजह से क्या होता है, फ्लड के वजह से क्या होता है, जो इट इज़ अ ग्रेट लॉस ऑफ लाइफ, लोग मर जाते हैं. एसेट्स मीन्स व्हाट, जो कुछ लोगों के पास है वो सबको हानि पहुंचती है. Hence she had earned one more name, sorrow or the river of tears. किस नदी को रिवर्स ऑफ टीयर्स बोला जाता है? हुआंग है जो ये नदी है, उसको क्या बोला जाता है? सॉरो और रिवर्स ऑफ टीयर्स. वाई? बिकॉज ऑफ द चेंजिंग ऑफ कोर्स, changing of flowing course, it is harm to the human being, and because of that it results the loss of life and assets. क्या होता है, ये हुआंग है जो नदी है, वो क्या करती है, हमेशा उसका पात्र जो बोलते हैं वो चेंज करती है. और उसके वजह से क्या होता है, उसके किनारे पे जो लोग रहते हैं, जिन लोगों ने खुद के झोपड़े बनाए हैं, तो क्या होता है, फ्लड आने के वजह से और कोर्स चेंज करने के वजह से क्या होता है, वहाँ पे फ्लड आता है और वो लोग क्या होते हैं, मर जाते हैं. तो उसी के लिए इस नदी को, हुआंग हे नदी को क्या नाम मिला है? सॉरो और रिवर्स ऑफ टीयर्स. जो रोते, रिवर ऑफ टीयर्स मीन्स ऐसी रिवर है जिसके वजह से लोग रोते हैं, ऐसा उसको नाम मिला है. Now the terrible river has been brought under control by creating a number of dams and bunds on her. अभी उस पर क्या किया है, जो येलो रिवर है उस पर डैम बांधा गया है. इसके लिए उसका जो फोर्स है फ्लो का और जो बहने का फोर्स है वो कम किया गया है. Now next we'll move towards the Indus Valley civilization, or we can say Saraswati and Indian subcontinent. See, this is the current pictures of Indus Valley. This is the ancient picture and this is the current picture. Indus Valley civilization. Yes. Now, as per the opinion of scholars and experts or historians, the Indus civilization is the oldest civilization in our Indian subcontinent. I am not talking about Indian country, I am talking about Indian subcontinent. Indian subcontinent means Pakistan, India, few part of China, they were called as Indian subcontinent. Okay, and that is why it is the oldest civilization on Indian subcontinent. The region of the valley of Sindhu and Saraswati is now divided into India and Pakistan. Now we have separated, means after 1947 it has got separated, the India and Pakistan. But that time, at the time of 3300 BC and 2600 BC, that time it was known as Indian subcontinent. So see, you will get various rivers here. You can see Yamuna river, after that Indus river, which we are learning. Indus river, it is originate in Pakistan and it flows in India. See, you can see the boundary of India also. This is the boundary of India, physical boundary, and this is the part of the Pakistan. Okay, so Indus river, you can see how, from where it is originate and from where it is flow. See the flow of Indus river. Okay, then Ravi, Chenab, Jhelum river, uh, after that Yamuna, Kabul river. These are few rivers are there on the Indian subcontinent, means in between India and Pakistan. But after that, the Sindhu and Saraswati river, they had got divided in between India and Pakistan. Just observe the map properly. After that, we are going to learn about Mehergarh. Okay, then Harappan civilization. Harappan civilization is a part and parcel of Indus Valley civilization. Without Harappan, we cannot learn the Indian Indus civilization. Then Sothi and Siswal culture, Kalibangan, Kanavali. After that, Rakhigari. These are few cultures we are going to learn. See, Amrinal culture, Kot Diji culture, Mehergarh, Saral Khola. So these are few cultures which we are going to deal in the next part. Okay, so I guess you have got the location. See the location of Indus Valley civilization. This is the subcontinent of India. Now what we are going to learn here, we have got archaeological excavations. We had the archaeological excavation. Archaeological excavation means what? जो उत्खनन हुआ, ये देखो, ये नए पिक्चर्स है इंडस एंड सरस्वती रिवर्स के. सी इंडस वैली civilization. You can see here the part of Indus Valley civilization, and see the whole part of Indus. See how large it was. कितना बड़ा है ये. It's too vast part, and that is why it is necessary to learn the Indus Valley civilization. Here you can see the river Sindhu, then cemetery edge. This is the shape of cemetery edge. Now we are not going to learn, but afterward the cemetery edge shape is there. See Saraswati river. This is the Saraswati river. Sindhu, Saraswati. Sindhu means Indus river. Okay. Vitasta. Fine. So I thought that you have got this location. I'm going to move towards Harappa, Mehergarh, Mohenjo-daro and Lothal, but still before that let me talk about Indus Valley civilization. Yes. Now as I told you that archaeological excavations are there. Excavation means what? उसको हम हिंदी में मराठी में बोलते हैं उत्खनन। उत्खनन किया गया। उत्खनन में हमें एक्सकवेशन में क्या मिला, हमें आर्टिफैक्ट्स मिले। आर्टिफैक्ट्स देन अदर थिंग्स जो हमें मिले उसके उसके हिसाब से, मीन्स आफ्टर लर्निंग ऑल दैट आर्टिफैक्ट्स, आफ्टर लर्निंग ऑल दैट एक्सकवेटेड साइट, वी drawn one conclusion, and that conclusion is known as Indus Valley civilization. Means the experts, the historians, they learned, they what we can say, they discover a lot of things, and after that they came to one conclusion that few things were there. Now what were that things, means what kind of lifestyle was there, what kind of food, what kind of crops they were growing, आफ्टर दैट व्हाट वाज द लाइफस्टाइल, उनकी लाइफस्टाइल कैसी थी, वो क्या खाते थे, वो क्या पहनते थे, वो लोग, उनके मनोरंजन के साधन क्या क्या थे, ये सब हमें कहाँ से मिलता है, जो हमने एक्सकवेशन किया है, आर्कियोलॉजिकल एक्सकवेशन, उसके हिसाब से हमें क्या मिलता है, वो सब रिमेन्स, और हमें ये सब जानकारी मिलती है. तो वेरी फर्स्ट व्हाट वी हैव गॉट द लोकेशन. तो लोकेशन कहाँ पे है, द आर्कोलॉजिकल एक्सकवेशंस एट हरप्पा on the banks of Ravi in Punjab and Mohenjo-daro on the banks of Sindhu in Sindh indicates the existence of a fully developed civilization in Indian subcontinent. Fine, dated 3000 BC. Now we are living on 21st century and we are proceeding towards the 22nd century. So we are talking right now, we are talking about 3rd century. Fine. So in 3rd century also we have got few remains and artifact which denotes us the civilization was developed civilization. See, this kind of remains we have got after excavation, and that excavation means we can say that archaeological excavations. Archaeological excavation means what? अगर हमें कुछ ढूंढना है, पुरातन जो कुछ ढूंढना है, उसके लिए जो एक्सकवेशन, जो डिगिंग है, उत्खनन होता है, उसको आर्कियोलॉजिकल एक्सकवेशन बोला जाता है. और वो अंडर द गाइडेंस ऑफ एक्सपर्ट पीपल, अंडर द गाइडेंस ऑफ हिस्टोरियंस, it has taken place. Now what we have got, it is a fully developed civilization, means people they were knowing about we can live in society, means that time they were not living in groups. See, nomad people in Paleolithic age as well as the first early Mesolithic age, the man was living in groups. Okay, after that he came to know about that we can live in a villages, we can live in particular region, we can cultivate the food crops for our livelihood. Means this is the age where man was knowing to reside on one place. Okay, so he has started with few developed things in 3000 BC. Now a number of archaeological sites of Neolithic villages have been now discovered. Now we have more Neolithic villages, means after the end of Mesolithic period, the Neolithic period has got started, and that discovered villages also we have. Okay, and it proves that there were well settled villages in the Indian subcontinent as early as 8000 BC. See, I am talking about page number 3 where the Indus Valley civilization part is there. Okay, so well settled villages we have got, it is nearly 8000 BC. We were talking about, means if we are talking about Indus Valley civilization, if we are talking about the Harappan Mohenjo-daro civilization, it is there in 3000 BC. Now Neolithic age in 8000 BCE we are talking about, and in that we have got remains or evidences of settled villages. Fine, Neolithic means a new villages, new era of history. There is a general consensus among the scholars that Harappan sites evolved from these early villages. Means ये जो early villages है उससे ही क्या हुआ है, हरप्पन साइट्स जो है वो इवॉल्व हुए हैं. Now we'll move towards the main crops, what they had in their main course, means what was their diet. Barley was the main crop, and main crop grown by the farmers in these villages. However, wheat was also grown on a smaller scale, means wheat was there, but it was in a smaller scale. The farmers in these villages were the first farmers of the Indian subcontinent. Means, if we want evidences, if we want proofs, we can say that in Indian subcontinent, in Harappa, in Mohenjo-daro, the first farmer were situated. अगर हमें ढूंढना है कि इंडियन सब कॉन्टिनेंट में फर्स्ट फार्मर्स कौन है, पहले किसने खेती चालू की, फार्मर्स कहाँ पे थे, तो वो कहाँ पे थे, नियर बाय इंडस वैली सिविलाइजेशन, हरप्पन, मोहनजोदड़ो. The regions were under the title of first farmers. Okay, next is they kept cattle and goat, sheep. They lived in mud houses. See, these remains, whatever you are watching, observing in this PPT, these were the mud houses, and they were living in the mud houses. Okay. Next is the archaeological site at Mehergarh in Baluchistan. Now see, this is the part of Pakistan. See, this is the part of Pakistan. Harappa, Mehergarh, Mohenjo-daro. Okay. Few part of Mohenjo-daro was there in Pakistan and few part was there in the India. Okay. Then Lothal. Lothal was there in India. See, here you can get the physical features. Can you make out the boundary of India? See, this is the boundary of India. Now you can tell me where is Harappa, Mehergarh, Mohenjo-daro and Lothal. Lothal was there in India. Mohenjo-daro, few part was there in Pakistan, few part was there in India. Even Harappa also. So after that, it has got divided into India and Pakistan. So we can say the archaeological site at Mehergarh in Baluchistan has yielded evidences of the continuous human occupation from the Neolithic times to the rise of Harappan civilization and material culture of the respective period. Means, it was seen that in those regions the continuous occupation was there. Occupation was obviously the agricultural occupation, agricultural practices were going on, and we have the evidences of Harappan civilization and the material culture of the respective period. Means, we have other evidences, other proofs also of the Indus civilization. So students, will stop here. I hope you have understood the points which I have explained today. Now your role is go to the page number 3, read the point number 3 and 4. Today I have covered 2 points. Read it. If you have any doubt, comment me in comment box. Tomorrow we'll start with the beginning of cultivation and agricultural production. Who was the first farmer, then which agricultural practices were going on, that all things we'll learn in the next session. So for this session I am going to stop here. Be safe, stay safe, goodbye.